What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the future of Marvel. Now, we're going to be talking Phase 5. Yes, which is over 5 years away, but I think we should talk about it. Why? Because I did a video about Avengers 5, and it was pretty successful, and I think it might even take to Phase 5 before we even get another Avengers movie. So, if you're new to YouTube, what is good, YouTube? My name is Warstu. I talk about all this kind of stuff every single day. So make sure to subscribe to never miss any videos. We are currently doing a giveaway for Spider-Man Far From Home ticket. All you gotta do is subscribe to the channel with notifications on and let me know down below that you've done so. So let me know, who would you have as the villain for Marvel Phase 4 or Marvel Phase 5? Careful for spoilers, because they've kind of already revealed the biggest villain for Phase 4. Kind of. So, spoiler warning, I don't want to ruin your life. So there's multiple villains already being confirmed unofficially, but they are basically confirmed already. So Spider-Man Far From Home is coming out in less than a month, and it is literally being confirmed by multiple sources, and we've been saying it for such a long time on this channel that the Green Goblin, the Avengers Tower, the Tony Stark Tower in Spider-Man Far From Home will be bought by none other than Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. That's if they don't change any of the origin story or change his name. So it's been confirmed by people that went to the LA screening that it is Green Goblin essentially, and they are building the Sinister Six. But what you got to remember is this is Spider-Man 3 tease. It's a post-credit scene. So you are talking 2021 to 2022. Now I know Disney have revealed 2 Marvel movies for next year, 3 the year after that, and 3 the year after that. But Spider-Man 3 will have to slide into the DMs somewhere around either the year after next or the year after next. So we are talking 2021 or 2022. So we know the Sinister Six will be the street urban level villains for Phase 4. So who will be the cosmic villain for Phase 4? Well, obviously we know Adam Warlock will be around and Beta Ray Bill. But let's be honest, Adam Warlock isn't really a villain. He's an anti-hero. He isn't really a villain. And Beta Ray Bill isn't really a villain. We know that Mark Hamill has actually been rumored to be playing the High Evolutionary in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or as Guardians of the Volume 3. Maybe it's called that. They kind of hinted at that during EndGame, kind of. So that would be interesting if Mark Hamill was to play his father. But essentially, he had an interview with, I think, Entertainment Weekly, and essentially all he said is he lives around the corner from James Gunn, so they're going to have tea, like a tea, not actual food, like tea, to discuss it, potentially. That's interesting. So there is some validity. There is some freaking truth to it. So, I said many times during EndGame that Galactus wouldn't be in the movie, but I also said he would be in the movie. Did I just confuse you? Well, no, I shouldn't confuse you. But what I meant by that is, initially, what happened was the screenwriters said they tried to slip in the Living Tribunal, as we did get the Doctor Strange teaser with the Living Tribunal staff. He was supposed to appear in Infinity War during the whole Thanos scene on Titan, but for some reason it didn't pan out, which is kind of interesting that it didn't pan out. So now they own all the Fox properties 100%. Now Fox Studios is still operating as an independent studio, kind of, but it will be ran by Marvel essentially. Now, coming this week and tomorrow in England, Dark Phoenix comes out, then I believe on Thursday and Friday it comes out in other countries. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that finishes, because it's not going to be like EndGame. It's not going to be a freaking cop-out where you don't even have definitive deaths, except for Iron Man, but realistically it's a comic book show, so he can return and probably most likely will be in Spider-Man Far From Home in some capacity. But with Dark Phoenix, there is going to be definitive death. Literally everyone will be recast, although I think James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender should stay on as Professor X and Magneto, but you know what Marvel are like. They're going to literally recast everyone except for Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. So why is Galactus coming to Phase 5? Well, Mr. Kevin Feige personally said, well, he said it to everyone in an interview, that they're not going to be introducing the X-Men until at least 5 years. So they're going to play the long game with this. They're not going to rush the X-Men in. Why? Because they don't need to. They really don't need to. If you look at their current slate, Black Widow is currently shooting. Shang-Chi is supposed to start shooting later this year alongside Eternals. So that is 3 movies just this year alone. And that's before you even start talking about Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, and all the other Phase 5, Phase 4 movies that will be coming to the MCU. So Galactus is a mad titan. He is a world devourer. He is the world eater. Now, in order for Marvel to go bigger, to go harder, everyone wants them to bring in the Russo bros for the Secret Wars. Yet, the Russo bros did a decent job on Civil War and in EndGame and Infinity War. But that does not mean they need to keep making Marvel movies. There are other Marvel movies, in my opinion, which are better. Yes, to me, EndGame isn't the best movie. I would put Logan above that movie every single day. Because what a lot of people don't realize is you've got to have an emotional attachment to the character. Now, I'm not saying that there was no emotional attachment, but let's be honest, guys. Before this movie came out, we knew Black Widow was getting her own movie, that now it's been confirmed that it will play somewhere between Civil War and Infinity War. So yes, it was sad that one of the original Avengers died, but did she really? Because they can keep this going on and on. Then there's the multiverse, so you can have an alternate version of her. Yes, Tony Stark did die. Did he really, though? Did he really? I don't really know if he did. Let's be honest, it's comic book logic. Realistically, did he? Probably not. He probably didn't die. Well, he did, but the multiverse, as soon as you introduce multiverse, deaths don't count. So you need to go bigger, you need to go harder. So there's only really one character who can go bigger and harder without pulling on the old strings from the other Marvel movies that we've done. Like Dormammu would be a very good character to bring in, but he's not really harder or bigger. Yes, he is bigger because he's a lot of CGI and they'd need a skeleton crew, etc. But Galactus is literally coming to Avengers 5. Now, we've had it confirmed, it's been confirmed for a long time, that he could appear in either Avengers 5, which I do not think will appear till Phase 5, because everyone's like, on my last videos, like, there is no Avengers Endgame, it's called Endgame because it's a definitive ending. Well, if that was the case, guys, do you not think everyone would have died? It was a definitive ending for some people, but let's be honest, they could write a story in the way that Chris Evans, Captain America, could return back to his young-looking self if he said and wanted to. And Thor is literally Chris Hemsworth saying, yeah, I'm going to take a year out of acting. But he said he's up for Thor 4. He's up for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He's literally up for everything. So we've only realistically lost 2 Avengers. And the new Avengers coming in will replace them with time. I know people saying we hate Captain Marvel. You don't, because it hit 1.1 billion at the box office, which literally, I think it's like the 6th. I'm freestyling this video. There's no notes. I think that's like the 6th highest MCU grossing movie ever, beating Iron Man 1, 2, beating Thor 1, 2, 3, and beating Ant-Man, etc. So you can't really say it wasn't very good because you still watched it. And the digital download sales, day one, did very good. So money-wise, Captain Marvel is freaking fire and freaking hot money-wise. Marvel Studios cares about how much money does it make. She might cause controversial for no reason. There might be controversial YouTube videos about her for no reason. But you need to go bigger, you need to go harder. And yes, Captain Marvel could wield Stormbreaker or Thor's original hammer if she wanted to. She is worthy. So Galactus is realistically the only option, because we've seen how easily Captain Marvel destroyed Thanos before he cheated like he does all the time and had the Sanctuary 2 and all the fire and the missiles and everything get blown at her. She was destroying him. Scarlet Witch even destroyed Thanos. Now Scarlet Witch, Wanda, is a badass warrior. So realistically, I know we're getting the Eternal storyline, which is going to deal with Celestials, the Deviants, like Thanos' brother, Thanos' father, a lot of other characters. Keanu Reeves has been rumored to be playing the villain in that movie. But you got to take the sources with a pinch of salt. But it's no more credible than Reddit to me. But like, a story is a story. So Galactus is coming to Marvel Phase 4 and Marvel Phase 5. It's going to be very interesting because now we know that the Sinister Six is coming. There must be some new deal with Sony and Marvel, unless Spider-Man 3 is going to coexist inside the Sonyverse. But I can't see it happening because they've set up Multiverse, they've set up Sinister Six, so there must be some new renegotiation deal for Spider-Man to stay in the MCU and them to be able to borrow characters and vice versa. So it's going to be very interesting because we will be seeing characters like Doctor Doom, Galactus, the Beyonder, the Living Tribunal, Annihilus all show up at some point. We're even going to have the Phoenix Force herself show up at some point in the MCU. So during San Diego Comic-Con in July, sadly I won't be attending now. I've decided not to go. So maybe next year, but there wasn't really much pull for me. So I've decided not to go. But yeah, maybe next year. Maybe next year. So we might be getting some information now. A lot of people are saying that it's literally confirmed. No, it is not literally confirmed. What's happened is Kevin Feige said we will release official details of Phase 4 post Spider-Man Far From Home. So that literally could be Disney 23 in August. It could literally be any time. Yes, Comic-Con is the best time to say that. But we here at the Warstu channel think that Galactus is confirmed for Avengers 5 because who else could you do that is bigger, that is badder than Galactus? Doctor Doom, yeah, Doctor Doom, sure, but that's more of a Fantastic Four villain. But then Galactus is a Fantastic Four villain as well. So you got to introduce a Fantastic Four before you can introduce Galactus, so to speak. So it's going to be a very interesting next 5 to 10 years for the MCU. And hopefully we can keep this channel going that long, as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep posting. So guys, I am posting a bunch of content, but I'm changing up the style for some things. I am doing like who is the strongest Avenger, who is the most likely character to come. But these videos aren't going to be voiceover videos. Well, they kind of are, but they're going to be a bit different. So it's taking me longer to script them and write them and stuff. But hopefully these do better because I'm not really enjoying the voiceover content at the moment. I think it's a bit boring and generic. You can't really put any personality or flair into it. That's the problem I have with voiceovers. It's like it's pretty boring and bleak, so to speak. I want more interaction with you guys down below in the comment section, on Instagram, on Twitter, absolutely everywhere. So guys, let me know down below. Do you want Galactus for Phase 4 for Avengers 5 for Secret Wars, for a Secret Invasion? But if we are getting Secret Wars, you know the Beyonder is going to have to pop through, and Keanu Reeves would be pretty cool as the Beyonder. So guys, let me know, who do you want to appear first? I personally always preach Galactus needs to come in Avengers 5. He needs to be the big bad, because by Avengers 5 we should have X-Men and Fantastic Four and Deadpool, at least you would think, in the next 5 years, because we're in 2019 now, so by 2024 we should have the introduction of all these other characters, and it's going to be freaking insane. So like always guys, please like, subscribe, comment. Let's try and get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of this year. That would be freaking insane. We might not be the fastest growing channel, but we sure as hell are the best Marvel channel on YouTube, in my opinion. Anyway guys, I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.